it's time to start the show! Woohoo! Hey there, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight. This is going to be a pretty exciting episode for so many reasons, but ultimately, red lipstick is just so powerful that I wanted to dedicate an episode just to the lips, because as you will see as we go through all the manifestations of red tonight, as I speak about it and with our lovely model today, you're going to really see red in a new light. It will make it easier for you to select reds, and hopefully if you're a person who is just, well, if you're definitely afraid of wearing red, don't wear it because it'll just make you feel bad. But if you're curious but you just can't seem to find the right red, then this is the episode for you. So let's get started. The first thing I want to talk about is Season 2, Episode 4. I was going to be doing an episode about Dia de los Muertos and talking about the sugar skull makeup, as you see on the picture here. Well, unfortunately, not for me, but for everybody in Northern California, there was that stupid, huge, awful fire, and the skies were just filled with smoke. Even down here in San Francisco, we kept our windows closed. I was getting sick, dizzy, all that stupid stuff. So it just didn't seem, first of all, I couldn't do the show, but secondly, to do it after Halloween just doesn't seem to make sense. So what I did was I made a blog page. Just go to makeupgourmet.com/blog. It's probably the second or third blog that's posted right now, so just scroll down to it. It's a great blog, all about it, and I posted a couple of really good video tutorials about how to apply the red lipstick. Here's a picture of the beginning of, I mean not the red lipstick, of the Day of the Dead makeup, Sugar Skull makeup it's called. So that's the blog page right there that you're going to go to. So there's a lot of good information about the history of the look, why it is what it is, why it's so compelling. But then also the two tutorials are quite awesome. So you should definitely check those out. So as we go along today, please remember that we are live, and so we can chat live. So if you have any questions, if you want to send any advice, any tips, any comments, all that good stuff, if you want to shoot that out to me, hopefully my secondary computer will keep me up to date, and I'll be happy to answer any questions if anything comes up. So with all that done, let's just talk about red lipstick, shall we? So what is the deal with red lipstick? Well, first of all, let's just talk about basic color. The primary color wheel. You got your red, your blue, and your yellow, right? Very strong basic colors, which red is one. So red is really that color, or a manifestation, a mixture of the red with the yellow, the red with the blue, and that's where the variations of the hues come up when you are looking at reds and trying to figure reds out. As colors become what we call secondary, that means you mix the red and the yellow together, you get an orange, but then you start to get a tertiary color, which is a third color, so you start getting all these variations of red. And, so what I'm saying is there's lots of reds out there. And there's definitely at least one for everyone, in my opinion. I love applying red. I love turning people onto red because people get afraid to wear red just because of, it makes them self-conscious. They feel like it's jumping off their lip. But it really, it's learning how to get used to it. And with the model today, Miranda, we're going to show you how to sort of ease yourself into wearing a red lipstick. So, here's a chart of just an example of how many stupid shades of red there are out there, right? So which one is right for you? Well, who knows? But know that, it's not just one red. You see that red, you go, oh, I can't wear red, I'm scared of red. But you look on this little, not wheel of color, but sort of this grid, you're going, well, maybe I could be wearing that jam color, maybe I could wear that cherry color. You never know until you try. So I'm going to show you some examples of different types of red, just so you can start to visualize them, because once you can see color better, it's a lot easier to pick the red you want to wear, especially if you're looking at your wardrobe and your hair color and your eye color and all that good stuff. It's almost like the color picks itself, but you have to be, somewhat informed about, what to look for. So let's start off with what I call a true red. This red is just a gorgeous, beautiful primary red. There's, the balance of the blue and the yellow in it are equal. So the red stands alone. It doesn't go orange. It doesn't go blue. And so really that's just a gorgeous, true red. And that's sort of the presence it has. And so this model here, and I think most of the models you'll see with the lipstick, you'll notice that red lipstick is almost always shown on someone with a fairer skin. And the reason why it's shown like that is because there's a higher contrast between the lighter skin tone. As skin tones get deeper, what you'll find is the reds start to disappear. They start to go away, and so you have to start using more saturated pigments. Like this true red on a fairly dark skin is gonna go away, so you have to brighten that red up for it to contrast the skin, or else you're just not going to see anything. So then if you take a true red, but then you mix just a little bit of blue in it, look what happens. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, see that nice, let's go back. See that nice balance of red in there? And I mix a little bit of blue, and then you get that gorgeous, a blue red. Now, Coco Chanel always said that, a true red is always a little bit blue. And the reason she said that is because blue reds make your teeth look more white. Whereas if you're wearing a yellow red, just think about it, yellow red, it can yellow the appearance of your teeth. If you have already, if you love your teeth and they're bright and shiny and white and you want to wear blue red, go for it. If you put a blue red on and you feel like your teeth look funny, a warm red, it's often because of the yellow in it. And so you might lean towards a blue red just because it's going to make the teeth look a little bit, more true white. And so on the opposite spectrum of that is what we call the warm red. Now you can see with this red, definitely it's not far from a true red, but there's a lot of yellow in it. So you can see how it's starting to go into the orange color, right? So let's transition back to that blue red. See all that blue in there? And then you just strip that blue away and add a bit of yellow, and then that red turns into something completely different. And all these colors are about the same intensity in terms of lightness to darkness, but they change by the colors that are mixed into to formulate the red. So I think it's very cool. Now, these kind of reds are really, they're pop reds, so if you put them on, you're going to feel like you're wearing red. That's why a lot of people opt for something like this. This is similar to a lipstick that our model likes to wear. She was showing me the reds that she likes. This is what I call a brown red. And brown reds just basically mean you sort of deepen up the red a little bit, right? And for lack of a better color choice, you mix some brown in it. And when you do that, you can see how this color becomes muted, how it sinks into the lip more as opposed to sitting on top of the face like the warm red does, like you see here. And so this is a really safe place for a lot of people to start. This type of color for many people, especially not with fair skin tone or even medium light skin tone, but a little bit darker than medium light on down, this becomes like a signature color because it looks right no matter what you're wearing. It goes with any shade in your wardrobe, red, yellow, blue, orange, pink, doesn't matter. It's going to look good on you because it fits onto your face right. And so it's not just, this color and then the rest of your face. It seems like it's part of your anatomy, and that's part of the trick. And then reds start to get a little bit more out there. So like this red here is what we would call a wine red or a burgundy red or Merlot red. And it's a deeper version of that, but you can see it's just like a dark petite Syrah lip, much, much deeper than, say, the brown red. And it has a whole different feel to it, this kind of red. It's leaning towards that, what we call the vamp red, where it gets darker and darker. But this is still considered a red, even though there's tons of blue and there's tons of purple in it. And then if you just add like almost all purple to your red and mix it, you come up with this color. I mean, the lipstick looks purple, And it looks a little bit brighter, but there, there's definitely a lot of red. So that's like you can see the red in that burgundy color right there, can't you? But then when you go to the vamp, not the vamp, but you go to the purple red, it really just screams purple, but it's still a red. And this is an awesome color. It's a hot color. You can see all these shades, they have a place to be worn. And I spoke of a vamp red earlier, and all a vamp red is really is you add black to your red. Straight black. Don't mess around. That's how this happens. So the reason I call this vamp is the story goes like this. I don't know if you guys have a history with makeup. I was working with Chanel at the time, and what was happening was a fashion show was going on, and Karl Lagerfeld looked at all of the nails, and they were all like a perfect red, and he thought, oh my God, red again, I am so bored. So he immediately told all the makeup artists to mix black into all the red nail polish, shook it up, mixed it up, and then all the models walked out with these dark blood red, even darker than blood red nails. And of course, you know how fashion, gasping because, wow, that's different. This is a fall look, and this looks like blood on their nails, and what a trend set this is. And vamp has now been like around forever, and most brands have a lipstick like vamp now, but truly it was one of those modern inventions with color that happened instantaneously backstage during a fashion show. It wasn't sort of a premeditated decision. It was a knee-jerk reaction to not wanting to be red anymore. And so what that means, of course, to you is don't be afraid to make a knee-jerk reaction, because sometimes you got to mix things up in order to, get to wake up your look. So you can notice also that this vamp red has a lot of shine to it. Next, I'm going to talk about the finishes of lipstick, because not only do you want to get the color that works right for you, but what does the finish tell you? Now, this is true for anything you wear on your lips, and I have some really funny little things that I think are funny, that I think about all these finishes. And I'll share that with you now, but first I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. So one moment. Okay, I'm back. So, finishes. I call this a pretty creamy red. It's almost glossy, right? It's reflecting a lot of light, but you just don't see like the gooey gloss on top of the lipstick. It still feels like the creaminess is part of the lipstick. So here, let me get this right. So here is really a vamp red. Cool picture, right? Kind of vampirish. Look at that. And compare it with this. It's virtually the same color, but when it's completely powdered out like this, it just looks kind of almost dead. And that's how I feel about, matte takes the shine off of anything. And we human beings, as long as we're alive, we have water in our skin, and we reflect light. It's natural to have more of a satin finish. So when your body doesn't reflect light anymore, it sort of separates you. It makes you more aloof, because it's, for lack of a better word, it's kind of a dead look. And so it's really that you can look but not touch kind of a look. When you see someone with all matte skin, matte lip, matte eyes, you just kind of want to go, okay, I'm just going to stay away. Because there's nothing really inviting. I mean, it's awesome looking. Don't get me wrong. Love makeup. Love all the looks. But what it's saying is, like, you can look but not touch. And I think that's kind of a powerful thing to say just by choosing which lipstick you want to wear, right? So here's another example of red, a matte red, right? But that's more of a true red, right? So obviously, both of these are red. They're both matte, But even this red kind of says, okay, maybe we can talk. Because it's a little bit more friendly. It's a true red, and it's inviting. And then the finish that most cream lipsticks give our lips is a human finish. It's what I call a satin finish, where your lips reflect color evenly. So you can see on this lip here how light is gently reflecting, not like in one hot spot. When the flash, you can see the flash on the side of her face there, the left side of the model's face, and how the light pops on her lip, but you see how it's not grabbing the flash. just going back to the matte, flat, you can see that soft, subtle cream. That's a very healthy looking lip. And that's definitely a look that says, yeah, come on, let's talk. Let's, this is a person who is social and wants to have a good time. And then you go a little bit further with your look. Now, obviously, this is a gloss finish. You see how the light from the photographer is popping? You can actually see the lights in her lip, the way they're reflecting, because she has so much gloss on, right? So you got a cream look that's very, very healthy looking. It's very, very clean, very natural in the sense that the color's not natural, but its finish is natural. It looks human-like. And then gloss says something completely different. It says, get over here and talk to me now. Of course, let's have a drink. It's just a happy party lip, so you put the gloss on. Obviously, you're in a good mood when you put gloss on, and you want other people to be in a good mood too. So you have fun. And to me, that's what gloss says. And I don't know if we all think about this, but because we probably just do it naturally. But to understand the sort of the psychology of the finish of our lip colors and how people react to it. Another interesting finish that you don't see too much in daily wear, but definitely for like going out, is this metallic lip, where it's almost like this kind of, I don't know, metal flaky, chromy kind of a finish to the lips. Definitely more reflective than the satin lip, and also in a different way. It does look, like it could be paint for a car, in the sense that it has that kind of thick, high finish, and it's really, really pretty. That's what I would call a metallic finish for the lips. And then, here's a little bit of a contrast. What about the sheer red lip? What about those of you that are just like, dude, I am not putting on those metallic lips ever? And I totally hear you. So this is where we're going to start today. We're going to start with these, soft, how to break yourself into red. Because still, you can see that this red has a nice sheer tint. It's a far cry from this lip, that's for sure. But it looks pretty nice, right? I think with this image, a trick I'm going to show you later about how to sort of Photoshop the lips, I think you'll really appreciate. And I would probably have done it on this model had I taken that picture. Okay, so we talked about shades of lipstick. We talked about the warm, the true, the blue. We talked about finishes. And so now we're going to talk about how did you know which red to wear, right? So you have a couple of options here. So in this, what you're seeing now are just a couple of examples of one's Madonna, one's Lady Gaga, of the lip color being, what do you call it, analogous with the other colors she's wearing. So it's just like one step away, like the red that's in her dress there, it picks up onto her lip. With Lady Gaga, with Marilyn Monroe, you see the fuchsia dress she's wearing. She's got the blue red, and she's got big silver hoops on. Silver's a cool color. A blue red is a cool color. That fuchsia is a cool color. Lady Gaga has more of a true red pattern in her dress, and so you see they just pop that true red onto her lips. And so the makeup artist made the decision to make everything sort of flow by using the same undertone of the garments and the accessories with the lipstick, and that will always work. Now, there's other things you can do. What are they? Well, let's find out. So this is kind of funny what I'm about to share with you, but it's kind of cool. So in both of these photographs, you'll see that they're using what we call not exactly complementary colors, but complementary colors are colors that are opposite each other on the color wheel. It's funny they call them complement, but that's what they are. Or a contrast color, it's sort of the same thing. But they work with each other, and one brightens the other. So because this is a slideshow, I'm going to talk fast. So look at her, red hair, peach top, right? And then they put blue lips on her, blue-red. So the effect of doing that is that the lips, because warm colors tend to soften us, like her red hair and her red top, we'll get back to her, there she is, that the lips super pop only because they're a blue red, not a true or warm red, which would kind of flow more. So I think that's kind of cool. So in this image here, and I'm sorry that it's a slideshow, so it's kind of going back and forth, but I am talking about, I think this is Susan Hayward and Rita Hayworth, are both of these images here. So when we get back to her, she's got this beautiful blue dress on, but look at her face. She's got really red hair, just like my mom used to, and she's got the warm red lips on. So she's really, the makeup artist decided to sort of be analogous with her coloring on her face, and the contrast, of course, is with all the blue in her dress. Even though it's a sky blue, it's a light blue, you can see there's a vivid contrast there that creates a little bit more action and energy on the face. So when you're trying to pick colors, the trick here is just to take a look at like what you're wearing, and decide, just hold the color up next to your accessories or to what you're wearing, because often when you hold the colors next to each other, they'll tell you right away, yes, we like each other, or no, we don't. So we're getting very close to working with Miranda here. I just want to share with you a couple of other things about basically doing your lips. And the one thing when you wear a red lip, getting back to this true red, is your lips have to be perfect. There can't be any mistakes. I mean, that's true with all makeup, but red lipstick is so powerful that if it's off a little bit, it just looks really messy and really bad. So you'll see in this lip, you can see just how beautifully clean all the lines are. But if you really want to be picky, for us, the right side of her lip, the upper lip, about halfway down, there's just a little bit of a gradual bump that goes up and down. You see how that's just a little bit off? It's not enough to really be too glaring, but the point is, red does not cut you any slack. So I'm going to show you when we work today how to, of course, not mess up. Now the other thing that people like to do is make their lips look bigger, and they do this with a lot of different ways. So you can see in this image where you can see where her actual lip is, and then you can also see where that liner has sort of extended beyond it to make a more exaggerated red color. So I would suggest this look, definitely. I mean, if you want a bigger lip look, I would suggest this look because at night and you're going to someplace dark, right? Because it's just, otherwise it's just kind of, I don't know, it's kind of scary when you see it in daylight. I mean, no offense to anybody who likes this look and likes to wear it all the time, but you must know that we all are looking at your lips all the time because how they're overdrawn. And this lip is perfectly overdrawn. So let me show you the difference between both of these lip liners. With this lip, you see how as the lip liner on the bottom lip starts to edge up to the outer corner, you see it's almost a straight line. Once you get past the bow of the lip, it shoots like a straight line up to the inner corner of the lip. So when you trim your lip color like that, it makes the center of the mouth appear more full because you've cut in the sides. Now, when you do this lip liner, what you notice is that the lip becomes kind of sluggish and heavy, the way it rounds out. It's got a whole different kind of big mouth feel to it, and it's a completely different energy. So just be aware of how you're putting on your lip liner and your lipstick because, well, the world is watching. So I would say I would wear this red, hold on, let me switch. I would wear this red, in any kind of lighting, and I would definitely wear this red, but, it's got to be a little bit more dark outside, just to, because that lip is made to, to be seen even in the dark of night, which is kind of cool. I don't know if this makes them vampire lips, but I don't think they are. All right, let's go on. I talked about that. Oh, guess what? Let's meet beautiful Miranda. Now, you all remember beautiful Miranda from before. She was here with us. And so anybody, here's Miranda, yay! So I feel really bad. I actually contacted, was it yesterday? Yeah. I contacted Miranda yesterday and said, hey, Miranda, you want to be a model for my red lip show? Because I wanted a blonde with fair skin. And she goes, yeah, sure. So she shows up with her two friends here, and they drove from Chico. They're students at Chico State, right? Yeah. They're students at Chico State University, and they drove how many hours?
3.
I don't like long car trips, so I feel really, so I'm just grateful that you're here.
It's worth it. This is fun.
It's worth it and it's fun. So, excuse me, coffee. All right, let's get started. So we did a real clean look on Miranda today. So straighten your back a little bit and lean. I'm going to turn this chair. Let's turn this chair a little bit so you get you a little bit closer. Now go ahead and have a seat. Good. Lean. So lean in just a little bit. So you can see we did really clean eyes. A little bit of an eyeliner look. Try to keep the makeup clean so that the lips really read. So let's talk about ways to make your lips look, sheer and natural. So one thing you can do if you're like really afraid of wearing red is just start with a really clear red gloss, which is what this is. The color is really thin. It gets almost see-through almost when I put it on my hand immediately. But it's a really good way to introduce yourself to what red might look like. So I'm going to take this red, come forward for me, and I'm just going to do a really quick sort of a flush. This looks almost exactly like the lip in the picture. Nice. So you see that pretty red flush that just came up on her lip? Super lovely, right? I mean, it reads so well. So if you are like, I don't know about the red, I would say go to Makeup Gourmet and get the clear red lip gloss. Now you all know that by watching this show, I have a YouTube 20 discount. That's the code. You put everything in your cart and you type in YouTube 20, and you get 20% off the entire cart. Life just got better today. So I would say definitely take advantage of that. And again, this is the clear red lip gloss. And if you want to just start getting used to red, then that's what you should do. So we're gonna pour Miranda. I'm just gonna tear her lips up today. So she's just gonna take that off the best she can, and then we're gonna move into different variations of how to introduce yourself to red. So I was showing you that brown red, how that color really saturated into the mouth, so it looked like the color was part of you. You want to find a technique that pulls color like down into your lip, right? So that's what I'm going to share with you now with a couple of these things. So one thing is just grabbing a lip pencil, and if you're afraid of the color being too strong, you can start with like this neutral lip color here. This is called Mocha Mauve. It's just kind of a warm color, a little bit brown, so it'll pull that lipstick farther down into that brown region. So you can just take this lip pencil. I'm not going to do it on her, but you can just put it all over the mouth, just like that. And then take the same brush that you use, and once you sort of fill in the lip, now I'm just going to do it. So I'm going to put the pencil all over her lip, but not much. So you see I'm not even doing a good job, because I'll tell you why. Lip liner is made of thirsty pigment. It's designed to absorb color so the color doesn't run past the edge of your mouth. So if you put lip pencil all over your lip and then rub that pigment down into the mouth like this, then whatever pigment you put on top, whatever lipstick you put on, is going to get sucked down into the mouth, and it's going to make the color last longer. So let's pretend that you don't want to wear red, ever. Miranda happens to love red, so it's sort of beneficial, but she also likes natural color. So what I'm putting on her is a lipstick called Barely There. So you get it by the name, what it means. And I'm going to put this on her lip, and I'm putting it over the top of the Mocha Mauve. So I'm just getting a blush color on her right now of this lipstick. It's a brown. It does have some blue in it, but it also has some yellow. Just a nice color. So go ahead and leave. So isn't that pretty? I like anything we can put on her won't be pretty, but the point is that it looks good and it fits her face, right? So if this is your speed, like, yeah, that's what I'm comfortable with, then what you do is now you pick up the scariest red you can possibly imagine. Let me see one of your fingers. The brightest red that I have, just hold it up over your mouth. And yeah, so see that red? Super bright red, right? So if you think there's no way in ever I'm going to be wearing this color, now's what you do is you take a little bit with your brush off the lipstick, right? Just a little bit. And rather than put the lipstick all over the mouth, you're going to mix it in with the lipstick you already wear. And so what you're doing is you're just barely introducing red pigment to the color that you're comfortable with and giving it just a slightly more red hue. And you can see even now how much red we've introduced with such a small amount, but it still has the undertone of your comfort color, your natural color, so you don't feel too, out there. Is that the color still on your finger?
Yeah. Do you want it off?
No, I want it on.
Oh.
So now hold that in front of your lips again, so you can see how much more red the lipstick is, and then drop your finger. Then what's on her lips, right? It's just a real pale version of that red, but she gets away with it. Do you feel comfortable in this color?
Do. This is pretty.
Yes, it's pretty, but some makeup artist needs to put it on better. All right, so this looks really nice, right? And so I would say, buy a true red. Get a true red and just go ahead and clean that off now. And just mix a little bit over your favorite color. Most people like the pinky mauves, right? The brown mauve colors, because it looks like our lip color, only deeper, a little bit more even. Just start mixing a little bit of red in there. Before you know it, you're going to be mixing in more red, and you're going to be, it's weird, but it's just kind of like getting used to it. It's like getting used to cold water, You put your toe in, you got to come out, put in your foot, take them out. Eventually, you're going to dive in the water. So eventually, she's going to dive into the red. So that's my technique for easing yourself into introducing red to your color wardrobe, because it does make a big statement. You're going to a cocktail party, black dress, red lips, clean black eyeliner, bang! You look classic, gorgeous, and it's really easy. So go ahead and get a fresh tissue and wipe off your lips for me. So next we're going to show you how to pick a red, though we've already talked about it, but we're going to have Amanda sort of look at some different colors. And what I usually tell people is trust your don't trust your brain, trust your gut, trust your stomach. So you're going to look at that color, and whatever that first reaction is, that's the better reaction than the secondary one that tries to tell yourself that the first reaction was wrong. Just because usually the first reaction is right, and the second one is our higher brain trying to reason and rationalize. But really, how does it make you feel? And that's really all that matters. So let me see a few fingers, may I? We're going to do both hands, okay? Let's do it on 2 fingers. So this is the color we already did. And I'm going to do a big contrast with these colors here. I'm putting a true red and a blue red on this hand. And this is more of a blood red, but not a vamp. No, maybe.
Oh.
Did you hear her emotional reaction to the color? That's what I'm talking about. I mean, when you see it, you just kind of go, yeah. And the reason I'm putting it on her finger is this. Don't put them up yet. The tip of our finger, where's my finger? Right there. It's usually the color of our lip. The way blood circulates, it hits there and it's circling around. And it gets our tip of our finger is a little bit more pink, right? So if I was working on Amanda, if she was my model, I would use my own finger to test colors like this, because we're similar coloring. But if my model was a lot darker than me, I would have to put it on her fingers to really see the undertone. So there's no right or wrong color here. There's just the color that we want to wear or not wear. So why don't you just start one at a time? I know once you lean in pretty close to it, you can see that color real well. And you see how she puts that right over her lip? That's what you want to do. You can just go through them. That's what you want to do. Wow, huge difference, right? Between those two, which one did your stomach like more?
I kind of like this one. It's like a little bit more pinky.
A little more pinky.
Maybe a little bit of a blue.
With a little bit of a blue. See? It's easy to pick. Now, is this the other hand?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell other hands. Wow.
I think these two are my favorite.
Look at you. So you like the blue-red.
Yeah.
This is Raven Red from Makeup Gourmet. And then you like the darker one?
I do.
Guess what that one's called? Daring.
Ooh.
Ooh. So we'll start with the blue-red because it's lighter, just to see what it looks like on you. And then we'll go down into the deeper red. Okay? Mm-hmm. And I know you probably think, well, can't we try them all on? So when you're out shopping for lipsticks, if you're doing this, the worst thing you can do is put red lipstick on your lips. Because once you've done that, you've stained your mouth. And like I was showing before we just did that light color on Miranda's lips, often just a stain is enough. So go ahead and you can clean off your fingers now. And then she's going to wipe off this lip color. Now we put a little bit more red on her lips, remember. We added some of that true red. So once she gets her fingers clean, she'll wipe off her lips. And with what's left, that's going to be her lip color. And we have done that with models a lot, where we put the red on and we wipe it off so it just has that sort of barely crushed red look. You think, how do you get that kind of color? I can never find that in the store. Well, it's there. It's that color that's been wiped off, right? So go ahead and wipe off your lips and just.
There, yeah.
Do you want to wipe them off? Oh, there you go. Sure. So lean forward. So you see how there's a little bit more of a red flush going to her lips right now? Yeah, good. Turn your head a little bit left to right. Nice. Lip modeling by Miranda. Very nice. Looks really good, don't you think?
I think so.
Yeah, and that's just a pretty flush.
It's a subtle red.
So you'll notice with all this application we're doing, she's starting to get what we call the Kool-Aid smile, right? Where that lipstick pigment's getting down on her face and stuff. So I'm going to show you how to make your lipstick look perfect when it gets to that. So Miranda picked a blue-red as one of the reds that she likes. So let me show you. Now we're going to work with a red lip pencil. And we're really going to do the same technique, but we're really going to go for it. All right, so lean in just a little bit and face me just a touch. Perfect. So rather than using that brown lip pencil, I'm going to use this color called Red Velvet. Now, this color definitely, let me see how it looks on you. You know, I thought it was more of a true red, but as I'm putting it on you, definitely looks like it has brown and blue in it. I used to not be able to tell color from squat. The day I got hired years ago to be a makeup artist with Chanel, I ran home to my girlfriend at the time and I said, because she was a makeup artist, I said, I just got hired by Chanel. You got to teach me about makeup. So she starts showing me colors. She goes, well, let's just start with the easy thing. Let's just, let's decide which color is warm and which color is cool. And every time she showed me something, I would go, warm. She'd go, no, that's cool. And I just could not get it right. So it takes a while to force yourself to see color. But the more that you do it, the more it almost becomes evident that this is the right color. So today, if I was assessing Miranda for her makeup with what she's wearing, she has a teal top on. And so it's a green, but it's a real blue-green. So it's definitely a cool blue-green that she has on. So using this blue-red lipstick, the look is going to be analogous, right? It's not going to contrast what she's wearing here. It's going to be sort of an extension of the color that she's wearing. So let's put that on. So do you see how I put the lip color all over her lips? And so they look pretty red already. But you want to get that nice satin finish, don't you? Now the satin finish is what you get with a cream lipstick. So your lips reflect light evenly. So I take a small amount of this color, and you'll see that I never put lipstick on like this. Here, let me put lipstick on top of your mouth. Because that's what it looks like. It looks like there's lipstick, and then you have lips. What you want to make it look like is that your lips are this color. And the way you do that is you have to work that pigment down into the mouth. And then it stays on longer, and it looks like the red is now part of you, so you can get away with a higher intensity red. So now you can see the color turning definitely more blue. Very, very pretty. And now I'm going to do another layer. So what you can do is you can just keep adding layers until you get the exact color that you want. How's that looking? All right, that looks really good. Blue, that's a nice blue red, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see, so bring your shoulder in and look over your shoulder so we can compare, and look over your shoulder, so we can compare that blue with what she's wearing. You see how these two colors are in the same universe? There's blue in here and there's blue in there. So they're kind of part of the same world, right? And so it's kind of a sort of a knee-jerk reaction for her to like that color, but it also goes with what she's wearing. It also goes very nicely the fact, I mean, anytime you're wearing a post, they're not very significant because they're still encased in, oh, it's over here. It's still encased, within the skin of your earlobe. But the minute any earring you're wearing drops anywhere below the skin of your earlobe, we notice it. And so the temperature of the earring also, because it's right in line with the lips, right? You really want that to be right. So with her, so I consider diamonds, crystals, these things cool colors. So the blue in here and the cool in there, these two just get along no problem. If she was wearing like gold hoops and a blue lip, it would be a contrast color, right? Mm-hmm. So the two colors would sort of bounce off each other. Not necessarily a bad way, but be aware that they're bouncing off each other as opposed to sort of working, you blending with each other. The 80s makeup, again, is a really good example of contrast. Using contrast colors, complementary colors, to create that vivid effect. So that's kind of neat. So good luck getting that off. So why don't you try to take that lipstick off?
So I'm always scared to wear red because I feel like it makes my face more red. Do you have any tips? Do
you feel like it makes it look red now?
I think it like picks up more like red in
the
blush.
It flushes. Really, you should not. When you're wearing red, you should not wear such a high intensity red to the point where you feel like it's making your skin look red, because it's good. Because if that's what it does, then that's what it's going to do. Now, also a warmer red is not going to do that on you. The blue red, blue, pink, all it's doing is pulling those colors into your face, right? So if you were more comfortable with a warmer red, that'd be good. Did you feel like it was pulling red when we had that first sort of that true red lip color, but we just barely put it on? No, and that was a true red, so there's more yellow in that, right? Mm-hmm. But also, it was not as saturated of a color. So really, it's, again, that when it comes down to that, and if that's your pain point, where it's like, I don't want my skin to look red, then you might have to choose a different red. The other thing you can do, though, I mean, really, is just use a higher coverage foundation. You don't want to wear more foundation, but if you really want the color not to affect your skin tone, then and that's what your skin would naturally do, is pull red. You have to give yourself more coverage. Does that help you at all?
Yes.
Okay. So now she's got that pretty kind of sheer blushy lip going on. Okay. So I'm not going to bother putting on the red liner again, because she already has such a stain going on. But I'm going to go with the darker lip color. I'm going to show you how to Photoshop the lips to make them look amazing in person. But I'm going to backtrack just real quick. There are some of us who, through pigmentation and what have you, like our upper lip is darker than our lower lip. And so when we put these high pigment colors on, the upper lip, the lip that's darker, it gets even more dark. Right, and you think every time I put it on, my lips become uneven. So, a lot of people would use say concealer, right? And so try to blend that out. I mean, it's good for runway, but concealer is creamy, and it's eventually gonna make the lipstick look muddy and kind of gross. So don't do that. Instead, what you're gonna do is use a really light pencil. So you're gonna use two different color pencils. So this color is called Pink Nude, right? So let me just show. So lean forward for me. So this color is actually lighter than her lip color. So if I were to put this, say, on the lip that's darker, and then a darker lip pencil on the lip that's lighter, what I'm doing is I'm evening out the intensity of the lip color even before I apply the lip color. I like this pencil. It's called Pink Nude because for those of you who like to wear those barely there colors, it lightens up your lip. And it takes away some of that mauvey pinkiness in our lip and neutralizes it just a little bit more. Definitely not the lip liner I would use for this next lipstick, but she has enough pigment on her lip that it doesn't matter. I'm just going to blend this in. So this last color is I'm glad she picked this because this is going to be a challenge for me to make it look good. And it's going to look good on her, but I mean, it's a challenge for me because I have to make it look perfect because it's so dark. So this color is called Daring, and it's a cream lipstick again. And you see my approach is always the same. I'll turn a little bit more towards me in terms of how I'm putting it on. I'm never trying to make the color more present by putting a layer of lipstick on top of her lip. That just isn't attractive. Makeup has to be part of your anatomy, not on top of it. We wear clothes, but when we're supposed to, but makeup, it shouldn't be you shouldn't be wearing it on your face. It should be part of your face. So this is going on pretty good, actually. I'm I'm in rare form today.
I really like it.
Look at her digging the color. So what's also awesome about red, and especially red, is the effect it has on you emotionally. You start getting the color on and you look at yourself and all of a sudden you kind of go, ooh, something happens. And that's neat. I was doing a play once and the character I was playing was so far from me. And so the first dress rehearsal, I was playing with the makeup. And what I decided to do was a black lip liner and red lipstick. It was like this crazy fool in this broken down, kingdom. And when I did it, it was like I left the building and this new character came in and it was really awesome. And so I'm not saying you have to leave the building, but you do feel different with that lipstick on, right? Like you kick down a few doors right now, right? And that's what.
Actually, though.
All right. So how do I make this look better? Well, I'm going to show you. Let me find my brush that I do not have prepared, and then we're going to show you how to make that happen. Here it is. So you can do this a couple of ways, but I like using my corrector most because I'll tell you why while I do it. You could use concealer, but don't. It's too thick. You could use your foundation. Foundation's okay, and foundation is safe. But what I love about corrector, this is my pink corrector. I used this in the checkmark shape under her eyes before we did her foundation, is it brightens the skin a little bit. So what I'm going to have you do is, so you're going to face me, and then kind of lean sideways. Yeah, just like that. So, perfect. So, remember that I was showing you that red lip where the lip was cut? See how the lips is rounding right here? What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut right along the corner of her lip. See that straight line I'm drawing? So it's making it more of a clean line. And I'm also, the negative space, meaning the space outside of her lip, is now more clean, and it's brighter because this corrector brightens. Oh, that looks so good. Hold on, I'm going to add a little bit of red to the magic place. That looks really good. All right, so come back to center. Turn back to center and lean in. So you can see between the two sides how over here she's got that clean cut, right? And on this side, on the other side, it's still just a little bit of a Kool-Aid smile. Turn that way a little bit. It's just a little bit edgy, and you can see sort of a flare. So now on this side, turn away from me a little bit. That's good. You see I'm going to draw a straight line. Just like that. And you want to make sure that straight line cuts to the inner corner of the mouth. It makes the center of the mouth appear more full. And you notice then I brush the corrector away from her face. So corrector brightens and lightens. So what we're doing is we're actually lightening the skin a little bit right before it reaches the lip. And then the red hits. So you get that, look how awesome that looks. So you get that, yeah, I know, it looks great.
And it makes my lips look fuller without overdrawing them.
And we actually made them smaller. You know, because you know what I mean? Because we cut them, but that's exactly right. Because it pushes the center of the mouth forward. Because makeup is just the one crazy optical illusion. So I usually don't, with most lipsticks, I don't deal with the top because it's just really hard and you don't have to, but turn towards me. But you see, we got a bit of a Kool-Aid smile here, so we can't have that. So I have to clean up that red because if she walks around with like that red coming kind of flaring out from the corner of her lip, it just looks like she got into, her mom's makeup. It didn't really know what she was doing. But just a little bit of cleanup, and it just makes it look so perfect. And it's really easy. So this brush I'm using is like that little angled liner brush. It's the brush you would use usually for your eyebrows, but with the brush powder for the brows. But get a separate brush if you're going to be using this with anything that's creamy, because creamy stuff is just, what did I do?
You press transition.
I press transition. Because creamy stuff, once you use a brush with cream, just keep using cream with it. When you go back to powder, back and forth, ultimately some of that cream and that powder is going to mix, and it's going to get kind of icky on the brush, no matter how much you clean it. So, how did you like your experience today with red lips?
I really like it.
Pretty good.
I think I'll wear red now.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
So, after you get all that red on, you can see how red is her makeup right now. She's barely wearing anything else, but putting on that red just makes the it just tells the story, doesn't it? I'm going to take a little bit of translucent powder. What I did is I put it right along the edge of this sponge, and where I put that pink corrector, I'm going to lay this sponge, turn towards me please, and I'm going to just press really gently just to dry that edge. Ta-da. And back she comes. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank Miranda very much for being part of the program today. Anybody want to say hi to or anything like that?
Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone. That was nice. Isn't she awesome? She drove all the way from Chico on a day's notice. You're amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now, I want everybody to remember that we have, again, that YouTube 20 discount. So all the colors that I showed you today and more, I have a good special going right now. My lipsticks are $20, and then with the special, you get the lip pencil for $1 more. So if you're interested, go get that, and then put in YouTube 20, and you get 20% off that. I don't know about you, but I think that's what I'm going to do. Let me show you couple other things before we close up here. Now, it's not just, I carry everything, skincare for men, for women, foundation, anything you want, of course, we have. So visit our site. Now is a really good time because I have some really awesome fall/holiday specials. And if you take advantage of those now, you're getting sort of a discount on top of a discount. And I know this time of year is tough on everybody pocketbook-wise, so now is a good time to jump on that. And remember, especially, this book is good for anybody who wants to know about makeup, but I really urge mothers or aunts who have younger daughters, nieces, friends, daughters, nieces, who like makeup and you just want to help get them steered in the right direction. This book is really the answer. It's so easy to follow. There's videos online with each step of the way. And really, it does make a difference. Do you like Miranda took a lesson with me. Did you like your lesson?
I loved it. It totally changed how I put on makeup.
She was telling me today, she's like, okay, I'm going to do my eyes. Got to look at the lines. And then were you saying that people were coming to you?
Yeah.
And
people
saying,
come to me all the time to do their eyeshadow and their eyebrows.
Right. and she took one. Did you do 1 2-hour lesson with me? It was a group lesson?
It was the half face.
I did a half and you did half,
yeah.
Right? Yeah. So, and all that stuff is all straight out of the book. So we urge you, because it really does make a difference. And it's, it's a skill that it's nice to have that in your back pocket no matter where you go. So remember, if you have any topic suggestions, anything you would like to see an episode be about, please just email us at info@makeupgourmet.com. If you want to appear on Makeup Gourmet Live, well, gosh darn it, email me at the same email and let me know, what your topic is, what you're interested in possibly, doing. So let's take a look. Oh my God. Okay, sorry. I have so many questions. Holy crap. Okay, hold on for a second. I gotta read stuff here. Well, people are saying hi. Mom and Dad are watching. What color was that again? Oh, now B, which color when? The first color, the second color? You can type back and I'll let you know. Let's see. Stunning color, says Terry Price. With a red holiday dress, do you match red or not? That is B. Thank you so much for that question. That is such a good question. Here's what I like with a red dress. If that red is just like a true drop dead red, yes, wearing a true red lipstick with it, of course, is going to be appropriate. But also, what's nice is to do that sheer red with gloss, because what happens is the red of the dress reflects onto the lips. So you get that pickup of that extra red without feeling like you're all red, right? So it'll be slightly more subtle than the dress, but it actually picks it up and reflects the color off of your dress. So that would be my answer to that. Let's see, and then there's more questions. Boy, what lip goes with some of your winter eyeshadow palettes? Well, all the ones I've shown, but I'll tell you, the blue palette, is that Forest Stroll? It has a lot of blue in it. You know, the Raven Red is awesome. There's one called Wine Night. And again, it's more of a blue, kind of a bluey red, but I would look at my matte winter red if you really like a deep red. We didn't show that color today, but a matte winter red is really nice. And again, the safe color, if you're not sure but you want to wear red, tempting because it's a nice brown red. I'm thinking about my palette. Oh, salted caramel. Yeah, wear mandarin red with salted caramels. But I will tell you that with my winter colors, I have those palettes already picked out. So if you go online, I have matched eyeshadow to lipstick to blush, and that is all value priced. So that's exciting. And then you use the YouTube 20. Okay, ask about makeup for entering the workforce and interviewing for mid-20-year-old professional. Okay, so that's a great B. Thank you. That is a great. That's a great episode. You know how to put your best face forward when you're interviewing. And I will do an episode on that because that's a fantastic idea. B, you rock. So let me go back here for a second. Everyone says hi, and lots of hearts and loves. And Elizabeth, you should ask me about makeup for entering the workforce. Oh, B is telling you that. Okay, you should ask me.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Liz.
What?
For Elizabeth.
For Elizabeth.
Yeah. Okay,
good. Okay, thank you everybody for chiming in. That was very nice of you, and I hope I was of any help whatsoever. So next week, I don't have the slide to show you, but I'm going to do a day to party look. You know, how to get from work, you're going straight to the after work party, whatever, but you want to doll it up a little bit, walk out with a little fresh thing going on. I'll show you the fastest, quickest way to do it. Here's a hint, smoky eye. So with no further ado, as always from makeupgourmet.com, we are so happy to have you guys join us. I really appreciate all the attention we got on our chat live today, and I hope I was able to answer your questions. If not, just email me at let me show it to you, info@makeupgourmet.com, and I will be happy to speak with you personally. Remember, I also do Skype consultations, so if you want to meet with me personally, we just get on Skype, and we talk, and we chat, and you show me what you got, I'll show you what I got, and I think we'll come up to a good color scheme for you. I want to thank Joe Crown for providing the exit music because he is such a cool dude from New Orleans, and he's my bud, and he always makes me happy. So with no further ado, I want to thank everybody for taking the time and coming in to hear us today, and we're looking forward to seeing you next time on Makeup Gourmet Live! Isn't that fun?